Me? Well, I was born in South Dakota, but we moved around a lot as a kid. And so there's not really one place that I call home, like a hometown. I've got an older brother and a younger sister, and besides the normal bumps and bruises of everyday life, we got along pretty well. But when I was 12 years old, I remember my mom and dad, they'd had a rocky relationship our entire childhood. But at this point, they decided that they were going to split up, and it was tough. It was hard. And we moved away. My sister and I moved with my mom into another city. My brother moved into the town to live with some friends to finish high school. We moved away from my dad, and even though things were difficult, our family was together up until this point, and now life just seemed to explode, and it was tough. It was hard to make friends going into middle school in a new town, in a new place, and that was rough. But I found football, and I started playing, and it seemed like people began to accept me based on the fact that I could play a game. And I enjoyed it. It took me all the way through high school, had friends, but really never any real close relationships. In college, I started to play football, but I lost the ability. I destroyed my shoulder, and I got mad. I got mad at everybody and everything because I felt like nobody would accept me anymore because I lost the ability to play sports. One day, one of my friends asked me to go with him to church. It was actually the church that was associated with our school. And when we got into church, I remember Doug Randall stood up and he shared a message that said that God loved us, that regardless of who we are, he loved us. And he showed it to us in the fact that Jesus came and he died on a cross for all the mess that we made. And it impacted me. It really sunk into me that my worth wasn't in sports or who I was friends with. It was in the fact that God loved me. And I accepted that message, and I asked Jesus to forgive me of my sins. And it wasn't like things got perfect right away, but life did change. For the first time in my life, I began to forgive people who'd done me wrong, and that was the first time I'd done that, I think, since my mom and dad divorced. It wasn't long after that I met my wife, and to be honest, she was fine. And my friends introduced me to her, and she thought I was a punk. But, with my charm and stuff, I won her over. But our lives began to grow in Christ, and we had our ups and downs, and we've had difficult years. Probably the most difficult was the time when we adopted our daughter. It was a 2-year adoption. We were separated for 14 months of that, and that was hard. But in everything in our life, it's been awesome to see that God has carried us through. So that's me. What about you?